Hi everyone! Let's examine the lineup for Sakura 2016. See Robbie Williams right here, he represents the clown. And it's because, if I can just find it, you see how he has face paint right here? You see how this clown has face paint? It's even the same colour, white, for heaven. And then this black represents the darkness, like your Isis and such. It represents blending the good with the bad, blending the light with the dark, blending the iron with the clay. He's got his tongue sticking out like a serpent, like the serpents in the Garden of Eden. Now, Jamie Theakston represents the same person as Jamie Dornan, who plays Christian Grey in 50 Shades of Grey, and he also plays that serial killer, Paul Spector, in The Fool. That's coming back soon, because loads of people are dying in TV shows and films at the moment, and it represents sacrifice. Silas has killed someone in Hollyoaks recently, and then the Fool's coming back, and possibly Paul Spector may kill again in that. Who knows? Sorry to say too many negative things, but you know, it's got to be said. Right. Ricky Haywood Williams, he's your Obama type character. Right, moving on anyway. So anyway, in X-Men Apocalypse, Apocalypse says something about 1,000 years. And remember that Satan must be bound in the pit for 1,000 years. It's because Apocalypse represents Satan. Now, at the beginning of the movie, Apocalypse wears a mask, just like Darth Vader wears a mask. And it's because Apocalypse and Darth Vader represent the same person, for evil character. And when Apocalypse takes his mask off, it represents the man of perdition taking his mask off, just like Obama is the man of perdition, and he will take his mask off. This image has been shown by the Groks, and it's also shown in the X-Men Apocalypse movie. This bow and arrow represents that same bow and arrow that's in the Strongbow adverts. And this sword represents Excalibur. And this guy right here represents death. See his skull? It represents idolatry, just like the skull on Punisher's chest. This white horse represents Shadowfax in Lord of the Rings and Hedwig in Harry Potter. Even Daenerys' horse in Game of Thrones. You see, there's a clip from Family Guy where Joe is dressed as a clown.
I think that belongs to me.
Right, he's saying that the new type of Eucharist belongs to him. Because this bull represents the new type of Eucharist. It's red for Satan, and Brian is white for heaven. You need a dog to get into heaven. This bull represents the same thing as the forbidden apple in the Garden of Eden. Even the apple in Snow White and such. Even represents that acorn in Ice Age Collision Course. Remember how I said Will in Hollyoaks represents the clown and Satan because he was in a wheelchair. Now, Joe in Family Guy is in a wheelchair and he represents the clown and Satan as well. That's why he's dressed as a clown. This isn't actually a bull. This is his red nose. Just like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. See how this represents this clown right here. The white face paint and the red nose. And then See how all of these recent films have all been about alien invasions, like Man of Steel, Independence Day, and there's even a second one coming out of that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'll show a clip of that in a minute. Avengers, and even Transformers, Dark of the Moon. You see this octopus thing is destroying the building? It represents the Twin Towers being destroyed. Even this represents the Twin Towers being destroyed. This thing in Battlefield 4. So, see this thing here? It's Godzilla, see? Here's a dragon, just like that story in the Bible with the woman and the dragon. So, this is basically like an octopus, just like hydras are like octopuses. Oh, we'll come back to that Quicksilver thing in a minute. How are we going? Right, let's play this clip from the Grox one.
This is that clown we've shown before. See how he's controlling the Prince William character through this mirror?
It represents the same mirror here in this advert, or commercial, or whatever you want to call it. Those goggles that he's wearing represent those visors coming with the mind control. So, it represents this same mirror here in this picture. This is in the United Nations. See, these two people, this woman represents the lamb getting married to this bloke here. And you see this symbol right here is like a nuclear football. And then this bird thing right here represents this bird here. And then even in Alice Through the Looking Glass, it's set in an asylum. Just like, well, at least the beginning of it is. And just like in Alice Madness Returns. And even in the trailer, she says, "I'm not mad." Remember? Illuminati, Mutual Assured Distraction, MAD, mad. Just like the Mad Hatter. When the turtles wear these things, like these masks, they represent those visors coming with the mark of the beast. See, Rad wears a red for Satan, so he represents your Iron Man character. Then Leo wears blue for Jesus Christ, and he represents your Captain America. Then Donatello is probably like your Hulk character, your scientist character, because Hulk wears purple shorts, just like Donatello has a purple mask. The purple is also represented in Capri's adverts and things.
What? You guys like a thing?
Let's break this trailer down. Right, first of all, this represents the ship of souls leaving for heaven.
Set a course for London.
She was wearing blue then,
Set a course.
because she represents Jesus and God and the light. But also because she's the woman of the Bible with her blonde hair.
London.
This represents the castle, just like in the Man in the High Castle. But also the Illuminati pyramid.
Captain ashore! You've been gone too long, Alice.
Absalom?
There are matters which might benefit from your attention. Hurry.
So she passes through this mirror representing the Christians passing over Satan. Remember, it represents the same thing as this mirror right here in this picture. Just like the Justin Timberlake song Mirrors and Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror.
Do mind your step.
This represents the door that we have to pass through with Jesus Christ to get into heaven. That's why it's in the sky. Because you have to go past the sky to get into heaven. That's why we have to pass over sky in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Alice, you're back. What's the matter?
The Hatter's the matter.
This represents hell. See all the fire?
We need you to save the Hatter.
Do mind.
Alice!
This represents the elites having their meeting.
We're back. What's the matter?
The Hatter's.
It could possibly represent like an Illuminati and Freemason meeting as well.
We need you to save the Hatter, or Wonderland will be history. Hatter is my truest friend. If he's in need, I will help him. Hatter is my truest friend. If he's in need, I will help him.
See how the White Queen is white, representing heaven?
The matter.
Need you to save the Hatter.
The White Rabbit is the same colour as the White Lamb and the White Mouse, all representing heaven, and all representing the Lamb of God, and all representing the dog that you need to get into heaven. That's why this dog is even here. And see how Hatter's face looks white in this shot?
Or Wonderland will be history. Hatter is my truest friend. If he's in need, I will help him.
It's not impossible.
Truest friend. If he's in need.
Right, this clock right here represents time running out. Just like this clock in the fifth wave does. Represents the same thing.
I will help him.
It's not impossible. Merely impossible.
This cat is here because he represents the Illuminati and the Egyptians, because the Illuminati and the Egyptians worship cats. See how his ears are like pyramids, like Illuminati pyramids? That's why Top Cat's ears are shaped like pyramids as well. Top Cat is even yellow, and yellow is similar to gold for the Golden Age.
It will be a race against time. Time is a he. He is not so. It's time.
This thing here probably represents that new tower being built after the two towers got destroyed.
Time is a he.
But remember I said that Alice is in an asylum at the start of this film? Well, it represents the same thing as Arkham Asylum in Batman and Gotham.
He is not so.
And then, of course, right, you see this eye right here, it represents the Eye of Horus, the one that's on top of the Illuminati pyramid.
It's not so when you want as your enemy.
And then you see these robots right here. It represents the droids in Star Wars, the robots in iRobot, but also the Transformers.
Alice was here. The Alice. Hatter?
Hatter wears a hat just like Indiana Jones does, and just like Silas does in Hollyoaks in recent episodes.
Find her, and we could walk past present and future.
This cannot.
The villain is called Time in this film, representing the same person as Darth Vader in Apocalypse, and even Hive in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Find her, and we could.
This frog right here represents the frogs coming out of that thing's mouth in the Groxty's videos.